Well, I guess that's it. Star vs. the Forces of Evil has officially ended, leaving behind a legacy of cute characters, memorable settings, magical eye candy, and spot-on emotional moments. It was a one-of-a-kind Disney cartoon in my eyes, and our buddies from another dimension will always have a special place in my gigantic heart.
Okay, that's a little melodramatic. We shouldn't cry because it's over. We should smile because it happened. That's what Star would have wanted. Now, I'm not gonna lie and say that Season 4 was my favorite season of the show. In fact, I'm in the minority which thinks that the episodic era of the show back on Earth was the best part. But to be fair, when this season hits its high points, it either punches you so hard in the feels that you might need to get surgical replacements, or makes you smile so widely that the animated Grinch would be jealous. So, which episodes managed to reach those highs? Well, as per usual, we'll be going over every episode in 10 words or less. They'll be given a 1 to 10 ranking, with 1 being awful and 10 being almost perfect. You're free to rank them yourself in the comments below, and Jello Apocalypse helped to inspire this style, so go sub to him if you haven't already. Let's watch our favorite little star shine one last time as we take a look at every episode of Star vs. the Forces of Evil Season 4 reviewed in 10 words or less. Magical Sparkle Transition Screen! So Eclipsa isn't gonna be evil. Good to know. Oh, pie folk. More like live folk! Pretty sure guitars don't work like that. When democracy fails, have an awesome fight scene.
Star becomes the filling for an ab sandwich.
I still ship Tom Star harder than Starko. I'm sorry. A good mystery and Eclipsa being responsible. I like it. SpongeBob, would you please keep it down? Oh, wrong show. Hey, Artards! Welcome to PMZ! Slime that heals bug bites. Sign me up.
I'm Baby Marco, and I'm the funniest thing all season.
A dimension of aggressive cousin It's? Sure, why not? They're still in love. Don't fall for it. I enjoy Ludo episodes more than I probably should. Captain Loveberry, the first Solarian. Love the humor, love the moral, love the Butt Frog babies. Aww, she casted her first death spell. Quick, get the camera. No capes! Okay, just this one time. Lover or hater, Ponyhead was really useful here. Never accept donuts from Happy Tree Friends. No walls, fighting evil magic. Motorcycle gang? Cool. Dragon Cycle gang? Even cooler. Is it possible to die from cuteness? Every episode so far plays a part here. Amazing. If you create sentient brooms, at least let them walk. Come on, even Mickey got that one right. All our old human friends get closure. I'm not crying. The photo twist was great. Everything else was really sweet. That belly mouth guy was weird, even for this show. The fake outs got kind of old after a while. The worst crime imaginable. Making counter knit money. Been a while since we've had an episode this funny. Ready? Aim, cliffhanger! Every side character wounded or incapacitated? Check! Nothing more romantic than slapping pig goat butts. Look at it, baby! Solid emotional moments from all characters. Good stuff. Honestly did not expect that ending. 2 worlds, 1 finale. Alrighty, let's crank out that top 3 best and worst, shall we? Let's see which ones made this last season shine, and which ones were complete mistakes. Number 3 worst, Doop Doop. Alright, let's start off with the inevitable filler episode. As I've said many times before, I have absolutely nothing against filler episodes, as long as they're memorable in some way. And this one, kinda is. Seeing everyone saying goodbye to Star in their own unique way was pretty cute, and it helped to show just how much of an impact she's had on all of their lives. The emotional stuff between Tom and Star was pretty effective and well played out, and the ending where Star goes back to Earth and reunites with Marco was nice. Especially when you find out that Marco's new baby sister is named Mariposa, which is the Spanish word for butterfly. I see what you did there. So why is this on the worst list? Well, out of all the filler episodes, this is the least rewatchable. After you see Star say goodbye to all her friends, you don't really need to see it again. None of their interactions are all that interesting. They just kinda say their piece and then we move on to the next person. That's about it. Also, while the ending drama between Tom and Star felt realistic and effective, it's also just kinda there, not really leaving behind any marks. If anything, it just makes me feel sad that Tom has to get his heart repeatedly broken by this girl. And after we saw just how hard he tried to make her happy in Lake House Fever, this scene is just really upsetting and kinda uncomfortable to sit through more than once. And besides, we get a much better Star and Tom breakup story during Sad Teen Hotline, making this feel kinda pointless. And of course you have the titular character Doop Doop, which was Star's very first magic spell, which she left alone to rot in the sun in a closet for several years and then abandons again as soon as she says goodbye to him. I'll let you decide if that's funny or messed up. I'm leaning towards the latter. Overall, it's not an unwatchable episode, just a plain and kinda boring one. Number 3 best, Cornball. To be honest, the whole Mumin monster controversy has had its ups and downs in the series. Sometimes it's used to tell an effective story, sometimes it's so heavy-handed that it ruins an episode. It's a very polarizing topic. But I'm happy to say that Cornball not only used this controversy to teach a valuable lesson to the audience, but is also just a fun and enjoyable episode on its own. It was great to see another instance where Star and Buffrog interacted together, with Star being the wide-eyed hopeful and Buffrog being the stern voice of reason. You could tell just how much Star wants this integrated game to go well, in the hopes of sowing some seeds of hope for humans and monsters to get along. But Buffrog, being the wise old croaker that he is, knows that it'll take a lot more than a game of cornball to completely turn things around. Heck, he's doubtful that his generation will ever stop fighting, even calling them straight up garbage.
Our generation is garbage.
But by the end, it's made clear that instead of trying to teach old dogs new tricks, the best idea is to allow the young ones, the next generation, to usher in a new era of human and monster unity. Allow them to carry the torch for the future instead of trying to change the past. I think that's a wonderful moral, and it's built up so well in the story, slowly showing all the kids getting along and eventually leaving to go play their own cornball game, which is just as sweet and adorable as you would expect. When you combine all these aspects with the hilarious duo of Kelly and Marco at the commentary table, plus Buffrog once again being Father of the Year, you wind up with a fun episode that's truly got game. And trust me, Marco, if you thought that learning the rules of cornball was confusing, just be lucky you don't know about field tournament style up and down, on the ground, manja banja flanja banja, ishka bibba babble flabble, doma roma floma boma, jingle jangle, every angle, bricka bracka flacka stack, a 2-ton rerun, free for all, big ball. Man, just saying the name gives me a headache. Number 2 worst, Curse of the Blood Moon. Many people know that I'm not exactly the biggest Starko shipper, but I never let that keep me from enjoying a well-written story. And hey, there are episodes like Beach Day and Night Shift where the cuteness between these two is the main selling point for me. However, something about Curse of the Blood Moon just rubs me the wrong way, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because the entire episode just feels like an excuse to tease the Starko shippers. And trust me, Starko gets teased more than Mary Jane and Spider-Man from the Sam Raimi movies, so it's not like we don't have enough of that. They try to make this episode all mysterious and cryptic, like, oh wow, it's really over, Starko is 100% finished, guys, they don't have feelings anymore! Meanwhile, anyone with a basic understanding of how TV relationships work know that Star and Marco are gonna be together at the end anyway. It's so obvious that I'm pretty sure even the kids this is targeted towards could see it coming. And I think that's my main problem. The Blood Moon Curse is a MacGuffin, but it's not even a good one. It's so obvious that Star and Marco are gonna be a thing by the end of the series that all the suspense and mystery just feel ineffective and kinda wasteful. And when you take away the attempts at mystery and intrigue, there's really not a whole lot left to chew on. I think the melodrama is turned up way too high at certain parts, especially with the music. There aren't many standout moments I can recall except maybe that bridge creep scene. The double length is really noticeable, especially with tons of long drawn out scenes. Jenna just kinda hangs out and doesn't really add anything funny, and the most emotion I felt was for Tom's crazy grandpa when he talks about the passing of his wife. Kinda sad when your emotional highlight is a side character who only had one other appearance. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but this episode just felt like a waste of time. It feels like one of those sneaky villains which turns around a directional sign at a fork in the road, hoping you'll go the wrong way. But I know this path all too well, so it didn't fool me one bit. Am I glad Star and Marco got their happy ending? Absolutely. But this is one of the steps down that road that I could have done without. Number 2 best, Britta's Tacos. Oh man, the nostalgia is real with this one. Britta's Tacos in a nutshell is an extended Where Are They Now segment, where we get to see what happened to all of Marco and Star's old friends back on Earth. Everyone is here. Luis, Alfonso, Sensei, Oscar, Crandall, Miss Skolnick, Starfan, and of course Jackie Lynn Thomas. They all have new lives and friends and fun little stories to tell, and the conversations they have with Marco range from heartfelt to hilarious. They of course save Jackie for last, and the way she helps to calm Marco's nerves about the whole breakup situation was perfectly in character. I always saw her more as a big sister to Marco than a potential girlfriend, but I'm glad they got to spend one more special moment together, just for a nice sense of closure before the series ends. Stay awesome, Jax, and good luck with the new girlfriend. And of course, like any good Star vs. episode set on Earth, this one brings in plenty of laughs. The funniest part by far was Star and her unbreakable persistence to do nothing. Seeing this bouncy ball of energy act so chill and relaxed for the whole episode, and even go limp when someone tries to pick her up, is just perfect. Plus you got all the side gags, like that paranoid guy in the stall who looks exactly like Marco, Jenna and all her disguises being on the band board 5 times, Marco thinking about life in the bathroom, and of course Starfan's silly antics, which feel like they should be annoying, but I just found them really funny. It's so nice that the show didn't forget about its lovable human cast, and using the taco shop as a way to bring them all back for one last hurrah was just fantastic. Throw in a cute baby, and you've got an episode that'll keep me coming back for more, just like a real taco stand. Number 1 worst, The Right Way and Here to Help. When I first saw these 2 episodes, I didn't really think too much of them. Just a typical action-heavy juggernaut used to set some stakes for the finale. Nothing amazing, but nothing terrible either. But the more I watched, the more I noticed some pretty glaring flaws. First of all, while it was cool to see Star take on that gigantic Solarian in her rainbow battle armor, it's a shame that all of her friends had to be defeated so freaking quickly. I mean, they had this big roll call introducing everyone. A squad of awesome heroes ready to risk everything they've got. Kind of like the battle against Monster Meteora. But no, aside from Ponyhead giving a great motivational speech, everyone is put out of commission almost immediately, and they remain in bed until the final episode. I can understand 1 or 2 of Star's friends being affected so that we can see what a Solarian weapon does to a victim, but not all of them. It just feels like a waste, especially for the end of the series. I was also off-put by the Starco kiss in the barn. On some level, I get it. They want to be alone, they want to share one last private moment together before they face potential doom, but this does kind of spit in the face of all the character development that Star got this season. We've seen Star act like a responsible and rational adult more than ever before, always putting the needs of the kingdom above her own. But now when her people need her the most, she decides to whisk Marco away to a private moment? This time more than any should be Star's chance to really show what a great responsible ruler she is. And yet she goes and does this. Seems really out of character, don't you think? And then you have Moon's betrayal, which was very poorly thought out. First of all, Moon has been extremely dismissive of her position as queen throughout most of the season. Every time someone tried to look to her for guidance, she assured them that she didn't want to be queen anymore. And yet here she is trying to take back the throne from Eclipsa. She tries to explain herself in Pizza Party, which works to a certain degree, but still makes you wonder why she needed to create a whole army of Solarian warriors when 1 would have been enough. I mean, she knows for a fact that she's dealing with magic she doesn't understand. So don't you think she would try to minimize the usage of that magic in case something goes wrong? Come on, Moon, you're a smart cookie. How did you make such an oversight? Things aren't all bad, of course. I still managed to find a few pluses. Like some of the action is pretty cool, the tension is really effective, and we get the funniest line that River's ever spoken.
He's a vegetarian.
Fine! I'll get him some chicken.
But aside from a few standout moments, these 2 episodes together are just a boring mess with some major problems. I'm not gonna knock you if you like them at all, especially the Starco kiss, which I'm sure many people are gonna enjoy. Wink wink. But for me, these 2 episodes are a culmination of everything that I don't like about Star Vs. Tarnished character development, wasted potential, little to no humor or levity, and nothing noteworthy to take away. These are the kinds of episodes I'd watch only for the overarching story points, nothing else. Because at their core, there really is nothing else. And my number 1 best episode of Star Vs. Season 4 is... The Monster and the Queen. I know, it's the most obvious choice in the universe, especially for someone like me who's drawn to cuteness like a moth to a flame. But I can't help it. Globgor and Eclipsa are just so freaking adorable here. All their little interactions, like rowing in a boat together, jumping on each other's shoulders and rocketing up high, singing a duet while walking through the forest, just... My heart, I can't take it. They managed to take a character like Globgor, which we've had almost no information about aside from word of mouth, and turned him into a wonderful character. He's got a great sense of humor as shown by his tendency to make jokes, he's a sweetheart as shown by the way he treats his wife, he's very responsible as shown by his hesitance to be set free until the world is ready for him, and he can even be pretty creative. You'd have to be in order to create the Great Banana Hat Muscle Whale. Yeah, that joke is so surreal and hilarious that it wouldn't be out of place in an Adventure Time episode. I also love how Eclipsa continues to grow in this episode, getting a talking to from both her husband and Star about being a responsible queen and thinking more about her subjects and less about herself and her family. She still has a lot to learn about being a ruler at this point, and it's great to see her getting called out for her mistakes and her being willing to change in return. It always makes for a good character. And of course you have the peaceful, serene atmosphere, which is just the icing on the cake. With so much tension, action, and crazy stuff going on during the season, it's nice to have an episode where we can just relax and watch a cute couple be cute for a while. No interruptions, just sweet romantic bliss. And I wouldn't have it any other way. When I look back on Star Versus as a series, this is what I'll most likely remember. Fun, self-contained, sweet little stories with characters I adore. I can appreciate the multi-episode overarching story they've set up, but the true quality of the series lies in these simple little moments that I know I'll remember looking back. Every second of The Monster and the Queen made me smile, and at the end of the day, any episode that's able to make me this happy, even after 10 or 15 rewatches, definitely deserves to be called my favorite episode of Season 4. Well, that's all I've got to say today. Feel free to tell me what your favorite episodes of Season 4 are and what you think of Star Versus as a series. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I hope to see you all real soon.